There's a lot of players the Niners could bring back who were former 49ers. Debo Samuel's one of them. No one really wants the Niners to do that. They could bring back Jake Moody. There's all kind of players. Jimmie Ward is an interesting one. They drafted him. He left to go to Houston with D'Amico. They're releasing him. He's better than Jair Brown. He's in his mid-30s. He didn't play much last year. Would you take a flyer on Jimmie Ward?
No doubt. No doubt. I mean, once again, I want to make sure that on week 1, I have at least 5 truly fearsome defensive players that I don't have now. And so, that means if I'm going to make sure that I have 5 fearsome defenders, that means I've got to add like close to 10, on some level. And he would be one of them. Now, obviously, he's late in his career. You don't got to pay him a lot. It wouldn't be a big financial deal. But yes, a guy who's as versatile as he is, and I'd love to see Shanahan show that he's the bigger guy and whatever fences he needs to mend them. This guy could play linebacker. He could play safety. He could play nickel. He can play corner. He can play in his prime. He could play them all. Are you telling me now he can't play anything? I think he can, and I would definitely want him. He's the kind of violent player that you need more of, not less of. They need more players like this. I know it's looking back, and he's an older player, so it's more of a flyer. But yes, I would take a flyer on him and find out what he's got.
I would take a flyer on Jimmie Ward. I would take a flyer on Dre Greenlaw. If those guys would accept incentive-based one-year deals, I would want them back on the team. I felt like they were key members of really good defenses that the Niners haven't replaced. And maybe they're obviously past their prime. Maybe they're washed, but maybe they're not. And I'm looking at Jimmy. He played 10 games last year. He had 2 picks, 48 combined tackles. I think there's something there. And you still have Jair Brown. You still have Marquise Siegel. You don't need him to play 17 games. I think that's it. I just wonder, what is the relationship like if they have one? Because some players leave the Niners and are resentful. Jimmie Ward. I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo wouldn't come back if the Niners wanted him. Not that they do. Yeah.
Well, and then other guys realize how good they had it here, like Debo, and are like, "Oh, I got to get back there." So, most of the time, if you go look at almost all transactions in the NFL, there's some. Hey, you know what? I mean, you see it and I see it. We go in the locker room and talk to the different players. Hey, they brought in some 5th string safety, and you talk to him for 5 minutes, and you're like, "Yeah, Chris was my position coach at, blah, blah, blah state." And, so there's always some kind of relationship, not always, but generally there's some kind of, hey, this guy knew this guy from this place, and that's why we signed him. Maybe a little bit too much of that, to be honest, but there's a lot of that generally going on.